How will Twitter actually enforce this? How are they going to know who is associating with what group? Are they going to monitor users based on press reports? Are they going to track web history or cookies? The Great Twitter Purge is scheduled for tomorrow, December 18th, 2017. This is when Twitter has announced it will start monitoring users' behavior on and off the platform. The announcement came just about a month ago. According to their statement, they said, "You also may not affiliate with organizations that, whether by their own statements or activity both on and off the platform, use or promote violence against civilians to further their causes. We will begin enforcing this rule around affiliation with such organizations on December 18th, 2017. Now, according to Mashable, the reasoning for this is that the month-long wait is due to regulations in the European Union that require companies to inform users of a new policy change 30 days prior to enforcement. Now, these changes have been a bit problematic for Twitter. Many people on the left accuse Twitter of endorsing Nazis. This is where the whole fiasco started, when Jason Kessler was verified just about a month ago. Now, since then, he has had his verification removed, and many people believe, come tomorrow, Jason Kessler and a few other users will be banned from the platform. But there's questions about who is actually going to be impacted by this. If the issue is banning or restricting access to people who have joined groups or associate with groups that use violence against civilians, will we see Twitter take action against Antifa as well as neo-Nazis? An article by Newsweek. Trump supporters are worried about falling victim to a Twitter purge within days. The story talks about several high-profile Trump supporters who have been banned or are scared of being banned. It mentions how many of them have begun promoting Gab, which is an alternative to Twitter, mostly dominated by users who are considered right-wing. One user, Scott Turek of Tucson, Arizona, joined Gab in October and claimed to Newsweek that he had already been purged from Twitter based on ideology. He said he is a disabled war veteran who posted numerous pro-military tweets. Quote, "I expose the left lies daily," unquote, he boasted. Turek said he believes that Twitter is banning people like him based purely on ideology, and that the trend will be exacerbated in the days ahead. To be clear, Turek's theory is not necessarily valid. Now, I just want to highlight that one little last bit from Newsweek, that they said his theory is not necessarily valid. I don't think they needed to add that. It seems like kind of a slight against this man, Scott Turek, because it's a quote from him. They're actually reporting on what this person believes, not what is true. So I think that's a bit strange they included it. But this does show you that many people on the right believe they are going to be purged. And I think the average person, myself included, hold the opinion that Twitter does favor the left over the right. And this is because there are many accounts on Twitter that repeatedly bash white people, post things like kill white people or kill men, and have not been banned. There are many accounts that associate with Antifa. And as you know, Antifa has done things like throwing explosives into crowds, bashing people over the head with bike locks.
Oh shit, he's bleeding. Yo. Hey, man, he's bleeding. Hard.
This is a group of people that has attacked civilians to further their political goals. And this is why many people don't necessarily believe tomorrow the enforcement will be equal. But it is important to point out that the left and the right both think that they're the victims in all of this. When you look at what happened with Patreon not too long ago, with Lauren Southern and the website It's Going Down. It's Going Down, for those of you that don't know, is an anarchist, Antifa-associated media website that publishes stories from people associated with the far left, often involving how to or when they have sabotaged things like railroad tracks. These are actions that are illegal. And Lauren Southern engaged in activism with Generation Identity, where she went into the Mediterranean in a boat and waved a flare at a large ship, trying to prevent a migrant rescue vessel from moving out into the sea.
All right, welcome back, guys. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened to the stream. Quick, get in front, Thomas.
In front of the boat.
Yes, in front of the boat. Go fast.
Yeah.
Patreon banned both of these accounts, and the left claimed that Patreon was siding with the alt-right and defending Nazis, and the right claimed that Patreon was siding with the alt-left and defending Antifa and communists. And what we have here is no different. Looking at a story from the Daily Dot, this Antifa joke got a popular leftist suspended from Twitter. The first paragraph, Twitter is notorious for the uneven application of its anti-harassment policies. Nazis run rampant. while people who antagonize Nazis are shut down. Rose McGowan gets suspended for tweeting a phone number, while President Donald Trump keeps tweeting after threatening to destroy North Korea. The latest casualty of the fraught argument is a popular leftist account that tweeted a joke about Antifa violence. Can Twitter distinguish between satire and a threat? Not always. Now, this story is in relation to a user, Krang T. Nelson, who actually wrote an op-ed for Vice. Twitter suspended me for trolling white supremacists. I tweeted what was intended as satire of a festering right-wing panic over Antifa allegedly planning violence on November 4th. It got weird from there. The tweet in question was, "Can't wait for November 4th when millions of Antifa super soldiers will behead all white parents and small business owners in the town square." In response to this tweet, we could see outrage from many right-wing accounts sending the tweet, quoting the tweet, and informing the FBI at FBIWFO at White House. Many people believed that this was a serious threat about November 4th. Now, November 4th was billed as the Antifa apocalypse. Many people on the right were pushing a conspiracy theory that Antifa was going to rise up in the streets and come out with guns, and there was going to be some kind of civil war. Many outlets and many people on the left said this was paranoia and totally not true. But the reality was, there was going to be a large uprising of activists throughout the country to protest Donald Trump and call for his impeachment. So both sides took it a little too extreme. Now, I think it's fair to say that simply because we have these tweets we see on the Vice article doesn't mean that everyone on the right believed this was going to be an apocalypse, but there were certainly enough people who fell for this hoax that they really thought something was going to happen. And we can say at the same time, many people on the left assumed it was a conspiracy theory when in reality, the protests actually happened. I went down and filmed a video about all of this, so it did happen. But I just want to say, with all of this, it's always important to remember that the truth is closer to the middle. In the instance of the Twitter purge, I really do believe that more people associated with the right are going to be purged from the platform than we will see people associated with the left. In fact, I would be hard-pressed to believe Twitter would actually ban anyone who is affiliated with Antifa. Keep in mind, there are people on Twitter associated with Antifa who are actually closely linked to individuals implicated in crimes, charged with crimes, or currently facing trial. If Twitter doesn't equally ban the left and the right who are associated with these far extreme groups, then it's safe to say that Twitter really is a biased platform. And I think most people assume that's true. Because like I said, you can Google search "kill white people, kill men," and certainly you will see tweets from people who have never been reprimanded for posting things that can be considered violent, extreme, incitement, or just racist and sexist. But there are more questions than just whether or not Twitter is going to be even-handed in applying their new policy to its users. How will Twitter actually enforce this? How are they going to know who is associating with what group? Are they going to monitor users based on press reports? Are they going to track web history or cookies? Maybe something happens in the press and someone hears about an individual, so then Twitter says that's bad behavior, off the platform, and bans them. Or maybe they're going to track what websites you're going to. Going to a certain far-right website or far-left website? Well, Twitter might be able to find out whether or not you did. And is that how they're going to ban you? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we will keep the conversation going. In my opinion, it really does seem that this is going to heavily target people on the right. And this is why we already see alternatives being dominated by right-wing users like Gab. People have been banned from Twitter for bad behavior, for swearing, and sometimes just for having bad politics. We've seen many people on the left use similar language and be totally fine. We have seen people take tweets from people on the left, change some words, say from white to black, from men to women, and have had their accounts banned. So I think it's fair when people truly believe this is going to impact users on the right. But again, comment below and let me know what you think, and we will keep the conversation going. If you want to follow me, I am on Twitter at Timcast for breaking news and live streams around the world. If you'd like to support my work, go to timcast.com/donate. Give whatever you'd like or give nothing at all. My videos are always free and available every day at 4 p.m. And stay tuned. I do have some live streams planned. And make sure to subscribe to my second channel. The link is in the description below. I'll be posting more commentary and more, well, I'll just say less important videos. The videos I do on this channel, I try to make about things that are impacting the world. So check out my second channel, subscribe there. If anything ever happens to this channel, that's where I'll be posting. So again, thank you all so much, and I will see you all tomorrow.